ongoing legal battles involving the Murdaugh family involves the death of Mallory Beach, who died in a boat crash in Beaufort County 4 years ago. That boat was allegedly driven by Paul Murdaugh, who was later murdered by his father. The settlement with the Beach family was reached over the weekend, according to lawyers involved with the case. Rachel Ripp joins us in studio now to break down what happened and what's next. Rachel?
Yes, Darcy, JR, lawyers involved with the case who I spoke with say it was a lengthy mediation process taking about 8 hours yesterday. The lawyers say it's not normal for mediations to happen on a Sunday, but this is also not a typical case. With this deal in place, $15 million will go to the Mallory Beach family. Following hours of conversation, finally, a sense of nearing the end. In the settlement of the wrongful death of Mallory Beach case and other claims from the survivors of the boat crash. The settlement is with Parker's convenience store down in Beaufort County and the estate of Alex-Murdaugh, the father of the driver of the boat, Paul Murdaugh. The suit said the store sold Paul Murdaugh alcohol on the night of February 24, 2019, and he then drove and crashed a boat. Beach died in that collision. Paul Murdaugh was underage at the time. The suit claimed Parker's was liable since they sold him the alcohol.
All the parties alleged that this sale of alcohol to not only Paul Murdaugh, an hour or so before they left the dock, was achieved under circumstances that certainly suggested there was insufficient diligence and improper process.
Parker's disputed that claim. P.K. Shear, attorney for Parker's, sent News 19 this statement, saying in part, quote, "The application of the joint and several liability law in South Carolina meant that if Parker's was found even 1% at fault, it would have paid for the entirety of any verdict rendered against the Murdaugh family. The unfairness of that caused Parker's insurance carriers to resolve these suits to avoid paying the likely award intended to punish Alex-Murdaugh." End quote. Mark Tinsley represents the Beach family.
There was a measure of relief, not because of the money, but because they weren't looking forward to going through the wrongful death trial.
Tinsley says he had been preparing for this trial for over the past 4 years, but now that's come to an end.
We wanted to send a message of accountability. Wasn't going to bring Mallory back, wasn't going to change what had happened to them, but we do hope that it saves somebody else's son or daughter from what will happen if underage sales continue.
Tinsley says they settled at around $18 million from Parker's convenience, $15 million of which will be going to the Beach family. The rest will go to the other people on the boat that night. One of those people is Connor Cook. His attorney, Joe McCullough, says Cook's jaw was broken.
I spent a lot of time yesterday with Connor and Miley and talking about it as this thing progressed and evolved. But I think the bottom line is when we got to settlement, I think there was relief. I don't know that there was joy. There's happiness in seeing an end to at least this chapter of this story.
According to Mark Tinsley, he believes the judge will sign off on this settlement by this Friday at the latest. And following that, Tinsley says he expects the family will receive this money about 45 days following the court approval.
Rachel, thank you. Paul Murdaugh was charged in connection with Beach's death, but he was killed, as you know, by his father before that trial came to trial. During Alex-Murdaugh's trial, prosecutors say this case was a motive in connection with the deaths of Paul and Maggie Murdaugh.